Luna had always been the kind of cat that exuded grace. With her thick, silky fur and piercing green eyes, she glided around the house like a queen, her tail flicking gracefully behind her. She was a Persian cat, one of those creatures you'd imagine sitting on a velvet cushion, delicately sipping from a golden bowl. Her owners, Mia and Lucas, adored her, giving her everything she could ever need: treats, toys, and even a heated blanket to lounge on during the winter months. But little did they know, beneath Luna's glossy coat and regal composure, a storm was brewing. It had started slowly. A small cough here, a little gag there. Luna, usually so meticulous about grooming, had begun to struggle with the constant need to cough up hairballs. At first, Mia and Lucas didn't think much of it. It was just a part of life for a long-haired cat, right? But as the days went on, the coughing grew worse. Luna, who once strutted with confidence, now spent most of her time lying on her favorite blanket, staring vacantly into space. Her eyes, once sparkling with energy, were clouded, and a red tinge had begun to form around them. Lucas noticed it first, one morning as he went to feed Luna. "Mia," he called from the kitchen, his voice laced with concern. "Come here, quickly." Mia, who had been preparing coffee, rushed over to where Lucas stood, looking down at their precious cat. Luna was sitting up, but her coat was tangled and matted, a far cry from the plush, well-kept fur she used to flaunt. Her eye was irritated, and there was a small discharge collecting in the corner. "Oh no," Mia whispered, gently stroking Luna's back. "What's wrong with her? Do you think we should take her to the vet?" Lucas asked, his brow furrowed with worry. Luna had always been healthy, never a single health issue in her life. The idea of her being unwell was foreign, almost impossible to believe. Mia sighed, a lump forming in her throat. "Yes, we need to get her checked out. This isn't normal." And so, within the hour, Luna was in her carrier, her big green eyes looking up at Mia with a mix of confusion and fear. She didn't know it yet, but she was about to embark on a journey that would change her life, and her appearance, forever. The veterinary clinic was bustling when Mia and Lucas arrived, the usual hum of nervous chatter and the scent of antiseptic filling the air. Luna was a ball of nerves, meowing softly in the carrier, her fur slightly matted from the hairballs she had been unable to clear. Mia sat down in the waiting area, rubbing Luna's ears to soothe her, while Lucas filled out the necessary paperwork. Luna, as always, refused to be anything less than dignified, even as she endured her discomfort. Soon, the door to the examination room opened, and a cheerful, young vet named Dr. Hannah entered. She was quick to kneel beside Luna's carrier, giving the Persian cat a soft smile. "Well, hello there, Luna. You're a gorgeous kitty, aren't you?" Dr. Hannah cooed, her fingers gently reaching to pet Luna's head through the bars. Luna blinked slowly, still holding her composure, though her discomfort was growing more apparent. Mia gave a nervous chuckle. She's usually very proud of her beauty, but today, she's not looking her best. "Let's see what's going on with our diva, shall we?" Dr. Hannah said, her tone light, though she had already picked up on the signs of something serious. The exam room was filled with the sound of Luna's faint meows as Dr. Hannah carefully examined her. First, she checked Luna's eyes, noting the irritation and slight discharge. Then, she felt Luna's fur, running her hands through the tangled mess. It was clear Luna had been struggling to groom herself properly for some time. The vet looked at Mia and Lucas with a concerned expression. "It looks like Luna has a severe case of hairballs," Dr. Hannah said gently. "Her coat is quite matted, and she's been having trouble clearing the hair out of her system. This is leading to constant coughing, and it may be contributing to the irritation in her eyes." Mia's face flushed with guilt. "I had no idea it was this bad. I just thought it was normal for her to cough up a hairball now and then." Dr. Hannah nodded understandingly. "It's common in long-haired cats, especially Persians. But when the hairballs become chronic and aren't cleared out regularly, it can lead to further complications, like gastrointestinal issues and eye problems." "What do we need to do?" Lucas asked, his concern growing with every passing second. "Well, first, we'll need to give her a thorough grooming. I'm sure she's been having a tough time with this herself. We'll also clean her eyes and give her some medication to help with the irritation. But most importantly, we'll need to address the underlying cause. Luna needs to be groomed more frequently to prevent this from happening again. Mia nodded, her fingers nervously running through Luna's fur. We'll do whatever it takes. She's our baby. Dr. Hannah smiled warmly at her. I can tell how much you love her. Luna will be in good hands. With that, the vet proceeded to gently comb through Luna's fur, carefully removing the mats and tangles. Luna, who had always been patient with her grooming sessions, seemed to relax under Dr. Hannah's careful touch. It wasn't long before the worst of the knots were gone, and the heavy matting had been cleared. But Luna's coat, once thick and gleaming, still looked less than perfect. It was clear she would need more than just a brush to restore her to her former glory. Dr. Hannah then turned her attention to Luna's eyes, gently cleaning away the discharge and applying a soothing ointment to ease the irritation. Luna squinted slightly but otherwise remained still, trusting the hands that were working to help her. You're doing great, Luna, Dr. Hannah whispered, as she finished the treatment. Now, we'll send you home with some special food to help with the hairballs and some medication for the eyes. And remember, regular grooming is going to be key moving forward. Mia and Lucas exchanged a relieved look. Luna had been in good hands, and they knew that with the right care, she would soon return to her former self. As they left the clinic, Luna nestled back into her carrier, looking a little less regal than before but still undeniably beautiful. Mia and Lucas were hopeful, and Luna, though exhausted, felt a sense of relief beginning to settle in. She was far from done with her journey, but the first steps had been taken. Little did they know, this was just the beginning. Luna's time in the clinic had been the start of a transformation, and soon, they would all see just how much their little diva could shine. It had been a few days since Luna's visit to the veterinary clinic, and Mia and Lucas had been following Dr. Hannah's instructions to the letter. They had adjusted Luna's diet to include the special food that helped break down the hairballs, and Mia had spent hours carefully brushing Luna's fur, taking extra care to untangle the mats and keep her coat as healthy as possible. Luna was still a little groggy from the medication for her eyes, but each day, she seemed to improve more and more. One afternoon, Mia decided it was time for Luna to have a little more attention. She called Lucas, her eyes sparkling with excitement. I think Luna's ready for her transformation, she said, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. Let's make her shine like the diva she is. Lucas chuckled, rubbing his chin. Are you sure she's ready for the full glam treatment? Mia grinned. Oh, I'm sure. She's a cat, not a princess. But she's about to feel like one, and I have a feeling she'll love it. They decided to schedule an appointment at a high-end pet grooming salon that Mia had heard about from a friend. The place had an impeccable reputation, specializing in giving cats the ultimate pampering treatment. Mia and Lucas figured that if anyone could bring Luna's coat back to its former splendor, it would be this salon. When the day of the appointment arrived, Luna was none too pleased. She meowed loudly as Mia placed her into the carrier, clearly sensing that something was about to happen. The last time she'd been in a cage, she had been whisked off to the clinic, where the foreign hands had poked and prodded her. This time, though, it was different. It wasn't about her health, it was about beauty. The ride to the grooming salon was filled with soft meows of protest as Luna shifted uncomfortably in her carrier. Mia reassured her. It's going to be great, Luna. You'll feel so much better afterward. You'll be the most gorgeous kitty in town. Once they arrived, Luna was led into the spacious salon, where soft music played in the background and the scent of lavender filled the air. The workers there were all gentle and kind, and Luna, though hesitant, was soon being pampered with tender care. Mia stayed by her side, watching closely as a skilled groomer named Samantha began the task of working on Luna's thick, tangled coat. Samantha gently stroked Luna's fur, her hands moving in long, graceful motions that Luna couldn't help but enjoy. As the groomer worked, Mia marveled at how Luna's coat slowly began to regain its luxurious sheen. The mats and tangles that had plagued her for weeks were expertly removed, and every brushstroke seemed to make Luna feel lighter, more free. You're doing such a great job, Luna, Mia whispered, her eyes soft with affection. Just a little more, and you'll be perfect again. Luna, who had been quietly enduring the grooming process, seemed to relax under Samantha's skilled touch. The transformation was remarkable. What had once been a matted, dull coat was now fluffy and full of life. Every stroke of the brush was restoring Luna's diva-like radiance. her fur glimmering like spun silk in the salon's soft lighting. As she looked at herself in the mirror, she almost didn't recognize the creature staring back at her. But the grooming wasn't over yet. Samantha moved on to Luna's eyes, cleaning them one final time, making sure the irritation was completely gone. She applied a soothing balm, and Luna blinked a few times as if to say, "This feels nice." Her eyes, once red and puffy, now sparkled with that familiar mischievous gleam. Mia could hardly contain her excitement. "Luna, you're going to be the most stunning kitty in the neighborhood." Finally, as the finishing touch, Samantha gave Luna a gentle blow-dry, fluffing her fur into a magnificent cloud of softness. When the process was complete, Luna looked nothing short of majestic. Her fur had returned to its original beauty, full, soft, and glistening in the light. The diva was back, and she was ready to flaunt it. As Mia and Lucas prepared to leave, Samantha gave Luna one last affectionate pat. "She's a real star now," she said with a wink. Back at home, Luna strutted around with an air of pride, her once limp tail now held high, swishing as she walked. She walked past her favorite spots, showing off her beautiful new look, as if to say, "Look at me now." Mia couldn't stop smiling. "I think she knows she looks amazing," she said, watching Luna prance around with an elegant bounce in her step. "She's truly a diva again." It wasn't long before the neighbors noticed too. Luna, always the queen of the house, was now the queen of the neighborhood. Every time Mia and Lucas took her outside, people would stop and stare in awe. She had become a legend, the beautiful Persian cat who had bounced back from her hairball struggles and an eye infection to reclaim her place as the shining star of the household. People whispered about her in admiration, and Luna, ever the graceful diva, ate up the attention. She would lounge in the sun for hours, her fur glowing as the rays danced on her coat. She would sit atop the windowsill, gazing down at the world with the same regal look she had worn when she was a kitten, now paired with the experience of a diva who had truly earned her beauty. And Mia and Lucas? They couldn't have been prouder. They had watched Luna go from a miserable, struggling cat to a radiant, self-assured diva. They had taken the time to care for her, and in return, Luna had shown them that beauty and health were worth the effort. Luna had learned a valuable lesson along the way. Sometimes, even the most glamorous cats need a little help to shine. And from that day on, she would never again let hairballs or an eye infection stand in her way. She was a Persian cat, and nothing was going to dull her sparkle. As for Mia and Lucas, they knew one thing for sure: their diva cat, Luna, was back, and she was here to stay.